This right here, this is what I call living. But I was struggling so hard, I could barely keep up with my friends.
Here we are hiking.
So in this video, I'm going to tell my story on how I went from horrible skin health, low energy levels, terrible tendonitis in my wrist, to being able to hold my son again, have clear skin, and get my life back. So here's my story. In 2019, I started breaking out with these horrible rashes in different places of my body. I would go to the dermatologist, they would give me a steroid cream. That wouldn't work, then I would have to go on steroid pills, but then it would always come back. Over all this time, my energy levels were just decreasing. I got pregnant, my water broke at 30 weeks. I was in the hospital for a month. I had my son at 34 weeks. He was born premature. After I gave birth to him, I was okay for a couple of weeks, and then I started getting infections. I had 4 different types of infections within 2 months. I was so weak, I could not get out of bed. I couldn't even stand up. And I had a newborn I also had to take care of. I had to call my mom to come help. I went to the doctor and I had another infection. They gave me antibiotics. Like, this just kept happening. And they sent me to all kinds of specialists. I got all kinds of blood work done. Everything came back normal. And I was like, no, I'm not normal. And I even had a doctor tell me, oh, it's all in your head. You're just a new mom. And I'm like, I'm sorry. This is not me. I had some other issues as well. About 3 weeks into postpartum, I felt like I broke my wrist. It was sharp shooting pain right here. I went to the doctor and they said, yes, this is mommy wrist. Like, everyone gets it. I was in so much pain. I could not hold my son for months. I felt like I missed a lot of his childhood because I was so sick and I could not even hold him. Thankfully, there's like baby carriers and stuff like that now, so I relied a lot on that. I have been battling this terrible wrist and getting steroid shots his whole life. And finally now it's gone. And I really think it was the patches that got rid of it. I ended up going to Dr. Shafina and she introduced me to these patches. Let me tell you, I just cannot even believe the change in my life. Now, after I've been on the patches, I think it's been over 4 months. I have energy again. My skin has cleared up. I feel like I have my life back. It sounded way too good to be true when she told me about them.
What we're doing is we're activating the body to start producing stem cells, right? We're elevating the GHK copper peptide. And one of the effects of elevating copper peptide is to start activating and mobilizing stem cells.
I didn't notice this right away. It took some time. But the other day, I was able to carry my son around the grocery store. This is something a normal mom can do, and I couldn't do for the longest time. And now, like, he's almost 3, he's heavier, and I could do it without putting him in a cart or using a baby carrier or whatever. And I was able to do it. The other thing, I haven't been able to write with a pen without pain for 3 years. I finally today was making a list for Thanksgiving of my recipes and I could do it and I didn't have sharp shooting pain. This happened slowly over these last few months. And like you get to a point where you're like doing something and it's feeling better and you're like, okay, it's like, am I imagining this? Or like, do I have pain? I don't know. But now it's at the point where like, I can actually do things again. I cleaned every single bathroom in my house yesterday, and I was so scared that I was going to wake up and have a flare-up of my wrist and need to use my brace again and tape and put ice on it and all the things. So I put a patch on it overnight and just prayed for the best. I woke up in the morning and I was fine. I'm like, this is insane. So a lot of people are using red light therapy right now. Imagine just using your body's own light. When you look through night vision goggles, you can see animals and people because everyone is giving off light. So what these patches do is they harness that light and they just reflect it back into you at a certain wavelength with this specific lattice structure here that activates GHKCU. Recently teamed up with Dr. Shafina, and we're making a series of videos that go into the science behind these patches. So stay tuned for what we have to come and subscribe to our channel to hear all the great content we're about to release. I hope you enjoyed listening to my story. Thank you.